Hey everybody, I'm back. You guys have been requesting a pre-op video, so here I am. So basically I just want to go over everything. I'm gonna go over my pre-op day, the day of surgery, and then like the week following. I had my surgery on June 27th. Today marks 1 week post-op. I'm 1 week. So basically let me just get right into it. This video is going to be kind of long. So pre-op, I went into pre-op. I said I was going to record. I actually didn't end up recording just because, you know, there was girls there that just had surgery the day before. You know, they were in pain. They were there to get their massages. I just kind of wanted to be as private as possible. So I ended up going into pre-op. I signed in. I was there probably a total of like an hour and a half. I signed in. They gave me like my little medical file that I ended up filling out. It probably took me like 10-15 minutes to fill out. It was basically like they highlighted everything I had to fill out. It was like all my labs was in there, my ID, my credit card that I used to pay for my deposits, basically stuff like that. So it was just like, you know, you had to sign like the HIPAA agreement. You had to sign that, you know, of course, you know that there's what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. Oh, I guess risk, like risk with surgery, which I mean, there's risk with any surgery. You can get your gallbladder removed and there's going to be a risk. So it took me about 10-15 minutes to fill out. I ended up filling it out, going to, I gave it back to them. Then I did not think that I was actually going to meet Dowbak that day, but I actually met her. She's super, super, super sweet. Everybody says she's sweet, but she's literally a sweetheart. I love her to death. She keeps it 100, like she's bomb. So I went in her office. I actually, you know, we talked about a couple of things. I actually requested to be one of the first ones. I said, can I be one of the first? So she was like, hey, be here 5:30, you know, whatever. I'm like, cool. I don't know if you guys remember me posting that CF pre-op drink. I had told her about it, and she literally looked at her nurse, and she was like, what is this drink that these girls keep bringing to my attention? She was like, no, just basically stick to water, Pedialyte, and Gatorade. She's like, I don't know what's in that CF pre-op drink. I don't want you guys to drink it. I don't want you to put anything in your body that I don't know, you know, what's in it. So I ended up actually throwing it away. I didn't even drink it. I put my dress up. She squeezed my fat. She's like, oh yeah, you have a lot of fat. I'm like, duh, that's why I'm here. It's for you to suck it all out. So she told me I had a spare tire, and then she told me I had wings. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. I told her I actually wanted to get my arms lipoed. She talked me out of it. Which I'm kind of glad and kind of not glad, because I have seen girls get arm lipo by Dowbak, and it's kind of like not been that big of a difference. So I have to get my boobs redone anyways. I have a revision surgery planned for next year for that, which if I can't get my arms down by working out, I'm probably just going to get arm lipo then. What was I saying? She basically told me not to get the arm lipo because she told me it was just going to be very minimum, and she said it's going to take away from the fat she can take away from my stomach and my back, and I didn't want that. I wanted her to literally snatch me. So I'm like, whatever, I have to get surgery again. It's not like this is the last time I'm getting surgery, so I'll just you know, get the arm lipo if I need to in the future. So I saw her. Basically, we went over that. I left. Yeah, I left. I ended up financing my surgery, so I ended up going to a whole nother location, which was 20 minutes away, to have to get a receipt to go 20 minutes back to her facility to give it to them. So once I did that, I Then she gave me my prescriptions. I got my prescriptions. I went and got them filled. If you follow my surgery page, which I put my surgery page in the description box below so you guys can follow me, I actually posted the pharmacy that I went to. They're giving us girls that are out of town a hard time right now with the narcotics, with the Percocets, because of COVID and everything that's going on. I literally had no issue getting my prescriptions at all. I went to the Publix literally across the street from my Airbnb. It was done in, I think, 2 hours. So it was the Zofran, the Bactrim, the Percocets, and then the yeast infection pill if you get a yeast infection after your antibiotics. I personally opted out of the Zofran and I just got Dramamine instead. Dramamine is like roughly like no more than I think $10, and it does the same thing. I've been using Dramamine since a kid. I'm 27 and I still get motion sickness in the car. If I'm not driving, if I'm in the back or even the passenger side, sometimes like I just get motion sickness. So Dramamine has always worked for me, so that's what I had got. All 3 of my prescriptions for the yeast infection, the antibiotics, and the Percocet was $49. My first round, I remember I paid like close to $200 for all my prescriptions. So $49, I was shocked. Like when they sent me the text message, it was $49. I was like, is this just for one prescription? But it was for all of them. I didn't complain. So I ended up doing that. Around 6:30, Juliet had texted me basically saying that I had to be at surgery at 5:30 a.m. Don't eat anything after 10 p.m. I ate a little heavier than what I was supposed to, which I kind of regret doing it. But I ate heavier for a reason, just because I was trying to get all the bad shit out of me. Because I know after surgery, you can't really eat like you were before. You can't. They say that the fat doesn't go back to the lipo areas. It goes other places first and then it goes there. But coming from someone that's had a round 1, that fat goes back. It will go back to your stomach. It might take a year or 2, and it will. It'll go to your face first. It'll go to your thighs. My butt even got bigger after my round 1 when I had gained the extra 20 pounds. So it does go to other places, but it definitely goes back to your stomach. So I basically ate my last meal before 10. I took a shower, went to sleep, set my alarm for 4:30, and I, woke up again, took another shower, got in my little zip-up robe thing that I had showed you guys in my last video. I put my compression socks on, my slippers, and I headed out the door. I was about 10-15 minutes late to the actual surgery, but, they still took me. When I got there, they took me into the, I guess like the pre-op room, like the pre-surgery room. And I took everything off. They put it in a bag. They gave me like the little black disposable underwear. I put that on. I put on the nightgown. And then she had told me to go pee. So I peed in the little cup. It was for the drug test and the pregnancy test. I ended up, of course, failing the THC. I told them though that I smoked marijuana. They didn't really care. They told me as long as I'm not smoking it out of a tobacco product that I was fine. I used to smoke out of Backwoods or Dutch's, but actually like a month or 2 ago I had switched to raw cones, and I actually like the raw cones a lot better anyways. So they actually did not say anything about me failing the THC. So if you guys smoke marijuana, it's fine. I literally smoked, I think, the day before surgery. So you're fine. Like, don't have anyone tell you can't smoke. Just as long as you're smoking out of a paper, you're fine. Like, I promise you guys, you're fine. So I ended up, like I said, peeing in the cup. And then Dowbak came in and she marked me up. She basically took my before pictures of me, put me up against the wall, went over the pictures of me, and told me exactly, what she was going to do. I had told her even in pre-op that I had wish pictures. I personally thought doctors liked wish pictures. I guess they don't. Vee had talked about it on her live the other day, that it's kind of like, not like an insult to them, but it's like, I follow Mia Aesthetics. I follow Dr. Maheo. And Dr. Maheo, he likes the girls to bring in like a vision board. So In my mind, I'm like, okay, well, at least let me show her what I want. But it was like, she was not interested. I kept telling her, I'm like, well, I have wish pics. And she was just like, well, this is what I'm going to do to you. And it was like, okay, lady, like, I trust you. That's why I'm coming to you, whatever. I did express to her, though, that I did want hips. I said, please give me hips. I said, please give me a deep cuff that, you know, someone can grab onto. And please just fill out my butt, like make it round, which she literally did everything that I told her to do. So the nurse asked me again. She was like, do you have to pee again? Even though I just peed, I'm like, yeah, let me pee. I don't want to pee on your guys' table. So I ended up peeing one more time. They walked me back in like the little surgical room. Everybody was, you know, dressed in their gear, you know, their robes, gloves, whatever. I walked back. Everyone was so nice. I'm like, good morning, you know, like, hey, like, I'm the first victim. Like, I hope everybody slept well. Everybody was so sweet, though. So I ended up going into the back. I laid on the table. The anesthesiologist was kind of just talking to me about everything. I did have open heart surgery when I was little. When I was 2, I was born with a hole in my heart. So I think he had asked me about that, if I remember correctly. I told him, though, that, you know, I was fine. I haven't had any issues since I was 2. Then I remember he was just like, okay, put your arm out. So I put my arm out. I made a fist. And I remember he just put, he had put a needle in me. I don't know if it was IV. I don't know if it was a shot. I wasn't trying to really pay attention to everything. All I remember is Dowbak was on one side. The anesthesiologist was on the other side. So Dowbak was on one side. She was rubbing my hair. She was like, I'm going to take good care of you. Everything's going to be okay. I promise, you know, everything is going to be okay. She was so sweet. All I remember is I just smelled like, it was like a fume, like of gas is all I remember smelling. And then I was out. It was over with. I woke up on my stomach, and all I remember is me personally, a lot of the girls say round 2 was harder than round 1. I feel like my round 1 was harder than my round 2, but I'm actually going to make a video about my round 1 and actually get into that and kind of compare and narrow down why I think my round 1 was harder than my round 2. But all I remember, my round 1, I remember I woke up and I felt like I got hit by a bus. This time, I was like, I just woke up and I was just like, like I was grunting and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this again. And then I remember the nurse, she was like, it's okay, mommy, you know, like, don't scream, don't yell, like, it's okay. So I remember she had got me dressed. She put me in a wheelchair. I was just like, can I just sleep for a little bit longer? Can I just sleep? She's like, no, mommy, your mom's here. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she put me in the wheelchair. As soon as she put me in the wheelchair, I was like, I have to throw up. So she had grabbed like a little bucket. I threw up all the rice and beans that I ate the night before. I dogged some rice and beans. I threw that up. She was like, did you eat after 10? And I was like, no, I promise I didn't eat. She was like, oh, okay. All I remember I was hearing was that my mom and Dowbak were talking in the background. So I remember she wheeled me out. My mom's truck was parked in the back. My mom had actually put her seats down and made like a little bed for me and had a stool. Dowbak walked me out to the truck to make sure I was okay. She walked me out. The nurse walked me out, and then my mom, just to basically make sure I was okay. I got back to the house around like 10. So I was gone for a total of maybe like 4 hours. I remember I came out. I did not feel sick at all, like for the first like hour or so. Like I didn't feel like I had to pass out the whole time. I literally walked with my mom. My mom held my hand, and I had to walk from the parking garage to the elevator, up the elevator to the 27th floor, down the hall to the bed. I was fine. I did not feel dizzy, drowsy. You know, I remember it, like, of course, bit by bit. I don't remember, you know, every single thing, but I remember I didn't feel, you know, like I was about to pass out or anything like that. I remember I laid in my bed and I just slept. I just slept the anesthesia off. I remember I woke up. I actually didn't want to take a Percocet, which, ladies, take your damn Percocets. Take your Percocets for the first 2-3 days, okay? Don't try to be like, oh no, I don't want narcotics and blah, blah, blah. Girl, take them damn Percocets. I had messed up and I had got back. I was like, no, Mom, you know, Percocets make me feel sick if I don't eat anything heavy. So that was my concern, but it was fine. So I actually ended up calling Dowbak's office, I remember, and I was like, my butt hurts so bad. I just had surgery this morning. Like, can I put ice on it? It feels like it's on fire. She was like, you know, she was, of course, on the phone. She was like, Mommy, of course your butt's going to hurt. You just had surgery. And I was just like, okay, like, is there anything I can do? So I actually tried to put ice on it. That did not work. I took the Tylenol. I had the Tylenol. I had to wait. I waited probably like 2-3 hours, and then I took a Percocet. Once I took a Percocet, I was fine. I literally was fine. Dowbak does inject a lot of tumescent fluid in you, to the point that it scared me and my mom, because my first round, my doctor didn't inject that fluid in me. It literally looks like blood. It looks like blood. It looks like you're bleeding out. The incision right on top of your like vagina area pours. When I'm telling you it pours, it pours. So make sure you put like a chuck pad on the floor. For the first day, I actually did not use the bathroom. I just used it like the urinal. Like, I just couldn't. Like, I was like, Mom, I got to pee. So I would just stand up, and it would literally be pouring, to the point that my mom was like, you need to call them. Like, this is blood. I'm like, no, Mom, it's not blood. It's not blood. It's the fluid. I promise. I promise. I had actually called Vee, and just to clarify, I'm like, Vee, this looks like blood. Like, it's like dark blood. She's like, no, I promise you it's not the blood. You know, it's going to pour. I'm like, okay. So for the first day, I basically stood up on the side of the bed. Ladies, Dowbak uses a zip faja around your vagina area, okay? She does not tell you, she does not warn you, but remember, because the first time I tried to go pee, I thought that because it is like a little hole, but I didn't know that you didn't have to, I didn't know you had to zip it. So the first time I got up and peed, I peed in my faja. I didn't know that it unzipped. So make sure you unzip your faja. Just keep it unzipped if you can. So I basically was just using the urinal for the first day. I laid in bed literally the whole day. I was throwing up constantly. I couldn't keep anything down. Second day, I felt a little bit better. I was able to like walk around. So like I like walked around the condo with my mom. I just kind of like went in like a big circle, you know, around the living room to the bathroom, back to the bed. I had my first massage on the second day. So I actually have had 6 massages total. So what I did is I booked through Vee. I booked Celia's Blessed Hand. She had actually sent her massage lady, Pilar. So she had came to me for 3 days, and then I went to I booked Coriato's team. So Coriato's team came to me the 2 days after, on the 4th and 5th day. The 6th day I felt fine, so I ended up actually going to go see Coriato, which she's amazing. All the massage ladies were good. To be completely 100 transparent with you, Coriato's team was better in my opinion. The other lady that came, she was good. Like, she got a lot of the fluid out, but she had me standing up half of the time, which kind of made me like dizzy. Like, I had to tell her a couple times, like hold on, like I'm seeing dots. So they both did different techniques. The first massage lady told me that my back hole closed and she couldn't get it open. Coriato's team came the next day. They got it open. I didn't even feel anything. And they got all the fluid out of my back. To each its own. I will say, though, that Pilar was way more, like, gentle. So she probably was good for, like, the first couple of days because she was very gentle Coriato's team is a little bit more aggressive. They do sculpt you in the massages. They do, you know, they are a little bit more aggressive, but they're both amazing massage therapists, to be honest with you. They're both around the same price, so it's not like one is bigger than the other. So if Coriato's booked up, I would still book with Vee's team that she uses. So I had got my 6 massages. Let me think what else. Like I said, I'm a week post-op. I have not taken a Percocet in probably, say, 3 days. I haven't taken them. I haven't even needed them. The only thing that hurts is my lower back until yesterday, until I went to go see Coriato, and she told me, she was like, are you sleeping with a pillow under your stomach? And I'm like, no. So if you put an actual like pillow under your stomach and then have a pillow for your head, and it like elevates your butt. So when I woke up this morning, my back did not hurt at all. I felt amazing. I'm trying to think what else to go over. I finally got my appetite back, I feel like yesterday, but being in the faja, I haven't really been able to eat like heavy, which is good, because it's like if you eat anything, it's like you feel like a blowfish. Like you're like, oh my god, now I can't eat. Oh, post-op. Let's go over post-op. Dowbak's office pissed me off to the point that I walked out of post-op. They told me to be there at 11 a.m. I waited till 12:15. By 12:15, I went up to them and I said, listen, what is taking so long? Like, this is just crazy. Like, you guys told me to be here at 11. It's 12:15. Y'all know I just had surgery 2 days ago. I'm not trying to be here. Like, what is happening? So Vee actually bent me with the stage 1 faja, which is what I'm actually wearing now. I'm going to show you guys the faja. She actually met me there. I had called her though, like, Vee, do I need to even be here for post-op? She was like, honestly, they're going to take your faja halfway down, look at your incisions, make sure they're not infected, and then give you your boards and go about your day. I said, okay, I'm over this. I'm ready to go back home. I'm ready to lay down. So I literally ended up going to the front desk and I said, hey, can I get my lipofoams and my ab boards? I'm ready to go. They gave me my ab boards. They're like, I'm sorry. And I left. Like, I walked out of post-op. So that's it. I did not go to my post-op. I didn't see the nurse, anything. I think that's really about it, guys. Make sure you bring stool softeners. The Percocets make you constipated. And then, of course, it is hard for you to use the bathroom because, you know, your stomach is tight. So it's hard for you to push. You know, you don't want to push too hard. So make sure you do get stool softeners. I think that's it, y'all. I really do. I think that's it. That's really everything with pre-op, post-op. I felt like this probably for like the last 2-3 days. I think I'm actually going to take my daughter across the street and walk around the park with her for a little bit and just kind of get some fresh air. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set it up. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to show you guys my results after 7 days. I did start off my waist before surgery. I was 36 inches. 7 days now, I'm 33. So I went down 3 inches. But I haven't really been compressing like I'm supposed to. So I'm actually going to switch into my other faja after I take my walk and put all my foams in and stuff. So yeah, so let me just get straight to it. So like I said, I'm 7 days post-op. I hope you guys can see. So you see how she, you know, rounded me out. I hope you guys can see. So, you know, she did literally everything I told her to do. And if you guys cannot believe it, my butt is 48 inches. That is like a small child. That's 4 feet. That's crazy. So this is actually the stage 1 faja that I got from Vee. So it's basically a zipper, and then it has just one set of hooks on it. I kind of wear this just to be a little bit more comfortable. It does compress you. I can put my compression garments in it and everything like that. I went to go see Coriato yesterday, and I actually had went to Pretty Girl Curves in Miami to go get some more lipo foams. Long story short, when I went in there, I was like, hey, do you guys have lipo foams? He was just like, yeah, we do, you know, but is there anything else, you know, you want? Listen, if I have to buy another faja, surgery is not a broke bitch sport, okay? I went to Pretty Girl Curves yesterday planning on spending probably $30 on some lipo foams. I ended up spending $160. So I'm actually going to go over real briefly what I got from Dowbak, and then I'm going to tell you guys yesterday what I got from Pretty Girl Curves. So he had told me, the guy at Pretty Girl Curves, he had told me that Dowbak's fajas are actually the worst fajas for you, which I do believe it, because her faja, when you put it on, especially when you change, like, I would recommend, even though I'm not going to wear this one as much unless if it's more of like a comfort tip, but when you put Dowbak's faja on, it feels like it's compressing your hips and your butt. Like, it really does. It feels like it's too tight. And of course, you do not want any compression on your hips or butt. That's why, you know, we get BBLs. If there's compression, it's going to kill the fat, and it's going to be like, okay, I just paid you $6,000 for what? Let me see real quick if I can find you guys. Let's go look. Let me see. Where did my mom put them? Oh, they're right here. So real quick, actually, I'll put you guys right here. Okay. So this is what Dowbak's office gave me. This is the belly board. I'm actually, I don't know if I'm going to use this. I can't say I am or not. I have my Tributo one, which is like the butterfly one, so it's kind of a little bit better because I feel like it kind of covers your fupa area right here, and it compresses it. Because see, look, so compared to this to this, so I feel like this one covers a little bit more. So this is what I'm personally sticking with, but this is what Dowbak's office gave us. So she gives you one of these, one lipo foam, and these. These don't do shit. According to the Pretty Girl Curves guy, this doesn't do anything. So, not even. I think Coriato told me that these don't do anything, because I had showed her. I said, these is what they gave me. She said, girl, they don't do anything. I'm like, that's why she was like, you need to go get more lipo foams to stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to Pretty Girl Curves yesterday, and I got this. It's for your back. So you put the flat side of it. What is it? I think it's the flat side goes to the faja, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It has the instructions in it when you buy it, but it was $10. So it basically goes right here on your back in your faja, and it makes you have that like curve, you know? So I got this. I had ended up buying 2 more foams because I stuff it like this now. So when I do compress, I put 2 on the side, the backboard like I showed you, and then I do this right here in the front. I haven't been able yet to stuff this and the ad board in, just because it's so tight. But when it starts getting loose, I'll put the ad board in before I switch to the third hook. So this is the faja that I got from Pretty Girl Curves. I personally like it. It's amazing to me. Definitely worth it. I think I paid, it was like $120, $130. So it's the short one. It has the actual elastic. I don't know if you guys can see it. It has the elastic, so it doesn't, you know, slide or move or anything like that. And then it has the 3 hooks that you can gradually go in. Like I said, I measured out to be 48 inches around my butt, so I had ended up getting a 2X. But yeah, it was really worth it. So yeah, that's really it. Like I said, I'm gonna put my surgery page in the actual description box, so if you guys want to follow me, ask me any questions or anything like that, feel free. I don't charge to answer questions. I feel like we're all in the surgery community, especially me being a surgery vet and me being my round 2. I may know a little bit more than other people, or just, you know, I've experienced it twice. So I mean, I know the good, and then I know the bad. So yeah, so I'll just do one little round again so you guys can see. So she definitely gave me hips. These are so bomb. Like, I'm loving my new hips. My stomach. But so yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, feel free to leave any comments. Shoot me a DM on Instagram if need be. And yeah, I'll probably be making my round 1 video within the next couple days about my experience with my round 1 doctor. And then I'll go into my breast augmentation of why I have to get a revision for that. So yeah. So good luck to all my surgery sisters and surgery babies that are getting surgery, you know, within the next year or so. Don't be scared. It's well worth it. I promise you it's well worth it. Just make sure you maintain. My biggest advice is get massages. If you do not get your massages, and if you do not wear your faja, you might as well not get surgery. The aftercare is just as important as anything. Like, I feel like it's more important than it is. It's really important. So, you know, just make sure, you know, you save up your money, you know, do what you need to do, and that's it. But all right, bye y'all.